So the band started, I think about 12 years ago, and but it goes way back beyond that.
When Heath and I were 12 or
Yeah.
11 or something.
Yeah, 11 or 12, yeah.
So you guys grew up together, right?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
7th grade. Our lockers were next to each other, and we both decided we wanted to be rock stars. So we stayed at his mom's house on the weekends.
So as Next to Nothing, we've recorded 3 albums. The first one we did back in 2010, I think.
9, actually.
2009. Worked with Mark Nash from the band PFR, if you guys remember them, back in the 90s. Went to Nashville for our first time as a band, and just super excited about the possibility of recording. And it was kind of the crazy part about that whole story is that we had the record completely finished, and Mark's studio got broken into, and we lost the entire project. So we ended up a few months later bringing him up here to Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, and recorded in our church basement. We set up a little mobile studio in our basement, and that's how the first record came about. 2 years later, we met up with Billy Smiley from the band Whiteheart, and basically did 2 projects with him almost at the same time. He wanted us to do a worship album because that's a lot of what our DNA is made up of. It's just leading worship, and that's how we started. So we did a worship album, and then we also did our latest record, New Today. The worship album is called In Every Corner. And so we kind of did those almost simultaneously, parts
because
of it.
when we first met Billy, he came up to a show. When we first reached out to him about maybe doing a record, he said, let me come up and hang out with you guys and hear what you're doing. Well, we had a great show lined up at a big venue, outside thing. It was a lot of fun, and it was a great show that night. And he saw it, and we get finished, and he's a consummate rock star, so the guy never goes to bed before 11. You know, we get finished, we're tearing down and ready to go home. He said, well, let's meet and eat something. You know, it's midnight, and he said, you guys have 2 elements to you, and I think we should make 2 records. And so he sort of went past the, yes, we should do something, and said, let's make a worship record and let's make an artist record. And we did both basically at the same time.
Yeah. And on the last record, Heath and Dan were part of that one, which was a lot of fun. They got to play. They got to play on a couple of the songs there, and you know, got to work with some really cool guys in the studio, and it was a lot of fun to have the entire band as part. Of course, that was before Cam joined us and was in on it. But, so yeah, we got 3 albums.
Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's a new day.
This is Brody, and he plays electric guitar for us, lead guitar. One of the best guitarists that I have ever had the privilege of playing with. Dan Laws is our keyboard player. Actually, Dan and I played in a band a few years ago, probably 10 years ago as well, just playing out at different churches as well too. Heath Farrow is our drummer, incredibly gifted drummer. And then of course Cam McCauley is the brand new addition, unbelievable on his bass playing. Just a lot of fun, an awesome element to it. Fits in just like he's been with us for years and years, and we're super grateful to have him.
I can hardly believe my eyes.
With our live show, we really hope that people just experience something, you know, not just to come hear music, but to really walk away with an experience of hope. You know, we really try to portray a message of hope and of expectation, I guess, in our music. You know, we love Jesus. That's part of who we are, and we want people to walk away with an experience of knowing who he is, feeling like they've met him in some way during that time with us. And we just want to be, you know, helping people to experience the presence of Christ in a very real and very powerful way. And we hope that we do that, not just with the things that we say, but through the message of the music and the words, the lyrics that we write. All of that, we want to point to a central thing. You know, a lot of times what we write about is stuff from our own experiences, our life, things that we've learned through life, you know, experiences that we've had, struggles that we've had even. And you know, we hope that people see real guys on stage that love each other, and that love God and are just here to do whatever we're called to do.
Love music.
Love music, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that we really try to do too, is take the musicianship seriously. The words that we write, the harmonies we sing, just each one honing our skills so it doesn't just sound like some other band out there singing a song with the same 3 chords, but it's got some meat on it.
Can you see it from where you are?
Another element too is, we do some praise and worship. We sing throughout the concerts and in churches and venues like that, but we also talk about brokenness and real life events in our own lives and in general. And I think we do give an element of hope to all the music, but especially a few that really focus on that.
Another cool thing I just appreciate so much is every time we get together to play, there's always just a real genuine sense of love between all of us and the love for Jesus and spreading that message, and I think that's the most important thing.
It's so encouraging and helpful, and it's a ministry. It's not just a gig, a one-off somewhere. It's a ministry and a friendship.
I think one of the things that we really love about what we do is just getting to meet people, and we've always from the very beginning wanted to be one of those bands that is always approachable. We don't ever want to be one of those guys or one of those groups that plays and then disappears after the show. We always want to have kind of an open door, but just that approachability of people coming up and talking to us. I know Brody loves it when especially I was in youth ministry for 15 years doing a full-time youth pastor, and so we love it when there's youth and young kids and students that come up and are like, man, what's that guitar you got, or tell me about this. And he lights up whenever a kid comes up and asks about Gary, and he's like, here, play this, and so we love to interact with people. We love to be involved in people's lives.